Hi guys, and welcome to this week's Alakazam Video Blog. So David.
Yes, Pete.
You all good?
I'm very well, thank you. Yeah, I must say I apologise at the beginning because we didn't manage to get a vlog in at Eastwell Manor.
Yeah, and we did promise we were going to do one, but
yeah,
time sort of got the better of us because we were out there filming projects for our new releases.
We had a lot of projects to fit in over a short amount of days, so it kind of took up all our time, but we're back this week. Yeah,
and we will, the next time we're at Eastwell, I'll book us an extra day there, and we'll do a vlog and we'll give the guys a tour of Eastwell, show them the rooms that we film in.
It's a pretty cool place.
Yeah, it's fantastic. They'll get a better look of some of the grounds and everything and some of the trailers coming up.
Yes.
Because we've done some sort of outside shooting. So that was, it was a really good week actually, and I think you guys are going to really love the products. There's a couple which are updated versions of stuff we've had out before, which are really good.
Yeah.
There's a great new trick by you that's getting great reactions from everyone we've shown it to. And it's a brilliant little effect by Jamie Dawes. If you like your darker mentalism stroke, spooky, bizarre type magic, this really fits the bill. And I will say, when he showed me it, it fooled me.
Oh, and me, 100%.
So that's great. That's called The Deceased. Over the next few weeks, we're going to explain and show you some of our new releases that we're going to be releasing around Blackpool time.
I can't wait.
The first one we're going to talk about is this. This has been a long time in the making. This is Screen Test Pocket. So for those of you that don't know about Screen Test was an effect that Steve Dimmer created, sent it to us last year as an idea. I fell in love with it straight away. You were on holiday at the time, but when you come back I showed you it.
It fooled me badly.
Yeah,
4 times in a row.
Well, it fooled me as well. It was one of those things, because I had seen similar effects before. When I was watching his demo, I kept saying to Andy, because me and Andy watched it together, I said, oh, I know what he's doing this. Rewind it. So we're watching it and I went, no, actually he's not doing that. Yeah, no, I know what he's doing this. Rewind it. Actually, no, he's not doing that.
Yeah.
And the method itself was so simple but so clever. Really, really clever.
And the original was designed like the movie cards, but it was like a postcard size, wasn't it?
Yeah, because if you ever go into a collectible shop or a movie store of some sort, they sell these postcards which are movie posters. They look almost identical to the Screen Test cards.
Yeah.
And I love whatever we release, we work hard as a team, Alakazam, to make sure that the product, if there is an organic equivalent to it, we try and get it to match, if that makes sense. So with those postcards, there was an equivalent to it. And ever since we released Screen Test, I've had a lot of people say, oh, you know, can you make a smaller set, maybe a poker size set? And it's something that we were due to release anyway.
Yeah.
But my initial idea was literally just to shrink the card, so it'll be exactly the same as what you got in the original Screen Test, but it will be poker size.
Which would have, you know, flown past layman anyway.
And it
questioned it.
No, it looks all right. But when Screen Test came out, I was doing a little lecture tour, and I'd done a lecture at a club called Wessex, fantastic club, the Wessex Magic Society. I'd done a lecture there, and after the lecture, I performed Screen Test during the lecture. After the lecture I was selling Screen Test, and it was before it was out on general release. And then a few months after that, the Wessex Club gave us a call and said, you know, we want to do a club night to come down, or a club day, come down and visit Alakazam. And it was a brilliant day, the whole club come down here. And one of the guys, a guy called Steve Bowring, showed me his cards. He had purchased Screen Test, but then he had made himself a poker size set. And when he showed me the cards, I absolutely fell in love with them, because what he's done, and I presume you can still get these sort of things, but I know when I was a kid, we used to be able to get they were like bubblegum cards, so they were little packs. Inside there you would get 4 or 5 cards. So maybe they would be Star Trek.
Yeah.
So you would get 4 or 5 cards from Star Trek, and then you would get a piece of gum in there. And he had designed his movie cards, his screen test cards, to look like the bubblegum cards. And I absolutely fell in love with them. I fell in love with the design. I fell in love with the feel, because originally we were going to do these on the same sort of stock as Director's Cut, the plastic stock. But once again, when you fill them, what are they? Whereas these are on card, they are matte laminated, but they feel and look like the bubblegum cards.
Yeah, they are. They really are great. So what this one is there's 2 versions now, right?
There are 2 versions at the moment.
So this is the original screen test. So it's got the same films as you would have in the normal size screen test.
And the method is identical. So if you've got screen test and you were to buy this, there's no learning. You just go straight into it.
So just lay them out so you can see them.
Okay, so you've got all the movies on here from the original screen test effect, but they are roughly poker sized. But we're also introducing what we call the action pack, because there are more packs planned. This is the action pack. Now this will give the effect a more modern feel. Because the movies are things like we've got Speed, we've got a Bond movie, there's Fast and Furious, Rambo, we've got Terminator, Ocean's 11, Expendables, Mad Max, Nikita, Avengers, Batman, Gladiator, District 9, Predator, Lethal Weapon, and Kick-Ass. So it gives it more of a modern twist.
Definitely.
Now the method between the 2 packs is similar but slightly different. Okay, so you could quite easily hand 1 pack to one spectator, 1 pack to another spectator, get them both to do the effect, and you could read both their minds. The other lovely thing, I've got a lovely 3-phase routine. When you now purchase Screen Test Pocket, when you purchase this, you're going to receive 1 set, so you choose which set you want when you purchase. Inside here, you're also going to receive a DVD where we explain how it works. On top of that, or in addition to that, you receive a code. On that, if you type that code and register that code on Alakazam, you will get any bonus routines and ideas we come up with, and there's going to be a lot for these. Because they're poker size, and because they're identical in design, you can now mix these both together and create 1 mega pack of cards. Okay, and the moment they read off just 1 movie, you know exactly what you're going for.
Definitely. It also opens it up as well. If you've got the original screen test, then those larger cards can become prediction cards, or can be used alongside these ones as well. I've got a routine as well, which will be on the extras, which is a bit more of a stand-up routine, with some nice predictions and stuff. So it's well worth registering your product, and any product really from Alakazam, because we're always constantly coming up with new ideas.
And the thing is, if you've already registered your original screen test, all the bonus routines, the code is the same, so you don't have to re-register. So any routines we come up with for these, you're going to see appear in your account anyway. But I am really, really pleased with these, because Screen Test has been one of my favourite effects that we've ever released. I absolutely love it. And at first I didn't think there was a problem carrying the big ones about, and I still carry them about in my bag. But if I was going out,
I mean,
they're perfect. Screen Test is in my bag, but if I want something in my pocket, that can sit in my pocket. It's not gonna, take up much room. So that is it really. That's Screen Test Pocket. But what we're going to do now is we're going to drop in the trailer to the original Screen Test, just so you can get a gist of what the routine itself is. But bearing in mind that is done with the original Screen Test cards, which are still for sale. So if you do stand up, parlour, or anything else you want slightly bigger, Screen Test is still available.
And then bear in mind that the same effect can be achieved with the action pack, just different films.
And the other thing I will drop in, because these are poker size, obviously it opens you up to doing more traditional card type moves, slides and everything else with these movies. So this is going to open up a whole new avenue for routines you can perform with this, and a lot of those, our minds are already thinking and coming up with different routines, so once again they will be shared with you on the site. So that, my friends, is Screen Test Pocket. That is on the site now for pre-order, should be coming out around about Blackpool time. But remember, you choose which version you go for, whether you go for the original, which will be the standard movies from Screen Test, or the action pack. My personal set is both. I
don't know if you mentioned this, but they can be mixed together because of the two different methods. These can now become one block if you want more options. So you can mix these up, hand them out, and straight away you've got more of a choice of cards because of the slight different method. Well, the same method, but the slight difference allows you to now have both in play at the same time.
And as soon as they name one movie, because we haven't duplicated the movies in each pack, as soon as they name one movie, you know what you need to listen out for, and so forth. But yeah, it's absolutely superb. There's not really much more I can say about it. It's Screen Test. It's one of my favourite Alakazam releases of all time.
Let's take a look at the trailer.
Your spectator selects a movie from a bunch of 17 mini movie posters. While your head is turned, they read out a list of every single movie contained within this pack. Now, with no peeks and no memory work, you can instantly tell them what movie they're thinking of. Tell me nothing, but just think it, okay? Just think it. This is a Saturday afternoon. This is a bit of a sort of adventure-y type movie. This is something to do with aliens, isn't it? Have you seen this movie?
I've seen this movie.
Yeah? Are you thinking of E.T.? Are you?
Yeah.
Now your pulse is already starting to race. So this is a thriller? Yeah? So I want you to try and think about what the movie is about in your mind. Just make it up as you go along, but it's... Okay, this is a thriller. Can you just visualise the poster that you just looked at? Just visualise it in your mind? This is a lineup, isn't it?
Yes.
Are you thinking of The Usual Suspects?
Yeah!
Perfect. Now, if that wasn't strong enough, with my bonus handling, you can actually predict a second spectator's movie on your ringtone. In fact, let's try something else as well, because remember I popped a card down here.
Yeah.
We'll try something else. This time I'm not going to ask you to remove a card, but I want you to see that the cards are all different, okay? We're going to give them another mix-up, so I don't know the order and you don't know the order, more importantly, okay? Just touch the back of any one. Just touch the back of one. This one here? Yeah, that's all right. Because you're not going to take it out, you're just going to remember it.
Yeah.
Do you know what that movie is? You've seen it before?
I have seen it, yes.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to turn my head, but I'm going to show the camera. Okay. Now, I couldn't have known what movie you were going to choose there, but remember I said I made a prediction.
Yeah.
This is something that I believe was going to happen.
Okay.
You're thinking of one movie. On the card is a number. Does that make any sense to you at all? Apart from being a mobile phone number? No? Okay, pick up your phone and do me a favour, just dial this number for me. And when you've dialed it, just press call. Perfect. Do you know the theme tune to this movie you're thinking of?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
Is that it? Were you thinking of Jaws?
Yeah.
Right, so that was Screen Test Pocket. Now on to this little beauty.
I absolutely love this.
This is amazing. This is Badlands Bob by Collector's Workshop. don't be fooled by cheaper copies that are on the market.
Yes, I've seen some and they are terrible.
They are really
Please
bad.
do not get the original. Get the original because it is the best, honestly.
It is the best version out there. Basically, Badlands Bob, if you haven't seen it, I've sent out loads of emails on it.
Shall we have a look at the video?
Yeah,
And then we'll talk about it.
Okay, here's the video.
David, many years ago in the Old West, there was a gambler called Badlands Bob. This is his prized possession.
Right.
He actually earned a fortune scamming people with this little prediction.
Okay.
And I'll show you, it sounds interesting,
Yeah.
and it is very interesting. Now what I'm going to ask you to do is take hold of the dice. I want you to roll it a few times just to make sure that it's true and it's not landing on the same number all the time.
5-1.
And whenever you want, just stop. Okay, but keep going until you're happy.
Okay.
4.
4.
Yeah, you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, now you could have chose any number. I'm going to give it a choice. You can either stay with 4,
Yeah.
or you can just think of a number in case you think that maybe this dice after so many rolls will land on number 4. So you can either stick with 4, or you could change your mind to anything, any number on a dice.
I'm gonna stick.
Okay, so that's totally random.
Yeah.
Now, if Badlands Bob was to approach you in a bar or a restaurant, and you can hear what's in it, in fact, take it. If he was to approach you in a bar and say, I know, without a shadow of a doubt, what number you're going to choose,
Yeah.
would you bet $10 on it?
I'd bet that he wouldn't.
You'd bet that he wouldn't?
Yeah.
Do me a favour, open that up. It's actually quite interesting what you find inside. Because inside there is a little wooden box. Now this box is a holder. Turn it over because inside this holder is 1 dice. And what number's it on?
It's on number 4.
Now, before we do anything else, just try and change the number on that dice. You cannot, because that dice is sealed in that box on the number
yeah.
4.
That's incredible.
So that was the trailer.
Yes. I absolutely love this. I mean, we both collect strange oddities.
We do.
I have a bookshelf, and one of the shelves is dedicated to it. You know, like the Impossible Bottle, the
Golf Ball Puzzle by
Yeah.
Neil Richards, which is great. If you haven't seen it, check him out on Facebook.
really, really cool. And this is something that would go on that shelf. If you had this just sat here, or even with the back to them, it does get that. You know, what's that?
Yeah. What's
What
the
does that
point
do?
of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the great one of the great things about this is what does that do? You know, it's
Yeah.
like the lung tester. That's another one that's
Yeah.
on the shelf. You know, what is that? That's the question you want, because when people ask it, it's as if you haven't presented a trick.
Yeah.
It's as if you start the story as if they've asked the question.
Yeah.
Which is brilliant for this. But it works as well as a presentation away from that.
The thing is with this, I want to point out as well that the dice that you were using wasn't loaded,
No.
so it could have rolled any number. You don't have to use a second dice to roll a number. You can just get them to name a number. You hand them the box, and the numbers change when they shake it.
The second dice was an addition that you added
Yeah.
in. You brought
Yeah.
that into it, yeah.
But the nice thing about these is they are Collector's Workshop, and if you haven't heard of Collector's Workshop before, I mean, I've owned Alakazam now. We started Alakazam over 25 years ago. Collector's Workshop at the time were, and still are, to be fair, the name that's synonymous with quality.
Oh, yeah.
If ever you purchase a bill tube, if you get Collector's Workshop, it's going to be the best. You know, if you purchase a needle for arm, you go for Collector's Workshop. I don't think they do it anymore, but it was the best. You know, everything they produce is just incredible. And this is, it's beautiful. Basically, the dice is in there. It will not move.
Yeah. This is a fully examinable situation
Before
now,
and after.
Yeah.
You know, this doesn't move. You're not switching anything. It's just a great thing, and it's different to cards.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, it's not a card trick. It's just a little piece of strange. And if you tell a good story with it, you know, the story is about Badlands Bob and his little box and his dice. It really does get people involved. And they pay attention, they like the story, and then when it changes, they're left with this thing, and it just won't change back.
The method is ingenious. It's brilliant.
The method's
easy to do, like ridiculously easy to do as well.
Yeah. The other thing is, I'd like to say as well, when I first received Badlands Bob, which was the first one I got in stock was maybe 20 odd years ago.
Yeah.
I couldn't really make head nor tail of the instructions. Now that might just be me. I don't know. I'm not saying the instructions are bad, but I couldn't make head nor tail. I was trying to do more than is necessary to get the numbers to change. So what we've done is I filmed a little video that teaches you my handling, which is, I presume, the standard handling, but it's a
so
little
you
bit
can actually
weird.
see it and not try and work it out for yourself.
Yeah, so as soon as you purchase it, that will be dropped into your account. The other thing I want to mention about Collector's Workshop stuff is because Collector's Workshop is owned by a gentleman called George Robinson, very, very clever technical engineer, great craftsman. Now, I had a conversation with him a few years ago and we were discussing his products. And he says that the way he runs the business, because they've got X amount of products, there's only so much time during a year, he will say, right, in January we make Badlands Bob, we make Bill Tubes, we make so-and-so.
Yeah.
In February we make this. Now, chances are he may not get round to making any more until the following year.
Yeah.
So the good thing about Collector's Workshop is they are quite rare. So we will get them sort of sporadically. They turn up when they turn up, we don't know. But we have just had another delivery in. I don't know how long they'll last.
The great thing with them is they are not mass-produced products, which, you know, if you're going to get a knockoff or, you know, a cheap version of this, you're going to get a mass-produced, and the quality is rubbish, not going to last you long. This, just holding it and seeing, you can see that is quality.
Yeah.
And it, you know, it's a lovely, different item to have. So, I love it. I own one, you own one. And so do many of you out there already, but if you don't, grab them while we've got them. So that is Badlands Bob.
Right, so the last product today is a bit of a blast from the past.
It is.
It's my eye change or instant interchange. This is something I released many years ago. I was always fascinated by the interchange sort of effect where cards switch in your pockets. And I used to perform a version, but there's a lot of sleight of hand. There's a lot of sleight of hand. There's
in the normal version.
In the normal version, there's quite a few discrepancies in the normal version.
Andy does a very good version.
Yeah, Andy does a really nice version, but once again, there's a lot
very
of
sleight heavy.
It's very sleight heavy, and I decided to try and come up with a version that one will get rid of the sleights, two would be more visual. And it took me quite a long time. It took a lot of trial and error, but I finally come up with eye change. The great thing in my mind about eye change is every single move is clean and open. So I openly put four aces. I show the front and the back, 4 aces into 4 different pockets. I show, well, as you've seen. Or as you're gonna see, actually. So why explain it?
Why?
Shall we show it?
Let's take a look right now.
Stop laughing.
Well, eye change project.
A lot of people wonder how card cheats cheat. A lot of people believe that they keep cards up their sleeves, so I'm going to make sure you don't think the cards are up my sleeves by rolling my sleeves up. I'm going to explain to you the exact way a card cheat cheats. Now, they do have extra cards, but what they do is they carry the extra cards in their pocket. So what you need to do is look at these cards down here. We are going to demonstrate this using the 4 aces and the 4 kings. One of the aces, the ace of spades, is going to go into my back pocket, just here. Okay, so the ace of spades in the back pocket. The ace of hearts goes in my front pocket, down here. The ace of hearts in the front pocket. The ace of clubs will go in my back pocket, and the ace of diamonds in my front pocket. That leaves me the 4 kings. Now, if I wanted to switch these kings with the aces, it's quite easy. The first thing I need to do is get rid of the king, and we can get rid of the king like this. Just like that, the king vanishes. But he doesn't vanish, he actually switched places with one of the aces. We click again, we can get all the kings to change places with one of the aces. So if the aces are here, that means king number 1, empty hands, is here, the king of spades. King number 2, empty hands, is here, the king of hearts. King number 3 with empty hands is here, and king number 4 with empty hands is here. So that's the 4 kings and the 4 aces. Watch carefully. All you need to do is think of either kings or aces. Just like that. If you're thinking of kings, the aces will vanish, leaving just the kings. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 kings. Empty hands, reach into my pocket. Over here, we have an ace. Over here, we have an ace. Over here, we have an ace. And over here, we have an ace. And just to show you, there is absolutely nothing else in the pocket. And that is eye change.
So hopefully they get a gist as to what the trick is now.
Yeah, and on the inside here you get the gimmick cards, which you can add to any bicycle deck, or you add cards from a bicycle deck to it.
Yeah.
And you get the DVD where I talk about some different routines using the cards as well.
You end clean though, right?
Yeah, that's the nice thing about this as well, is you end totally clean. So the cards I put in their hand are totally examinable. There's absolutely nothing wrong with them. And this I Change project is one of those tricks. If I do this at a convention, people want it. Yeah. It just sells. And it's I remember fooling Jeff McBride with this in Vegas, and that moment where he was holding the 8 cards, and I said just name kings or aces, and I snapped my fingers and 4 of them are gone. His face just dropped. And he was calling his friend over to watch it. It's just, for me, this is one of my favourite creations because it was something that I wanted to achieve, if that makes sense. So it's not something I've come up with and I thought, oh, that's a great idea, we'll build on it. This was something where I looked at a trick and said, I love this trick.
You set yourself a goal.
Yeah, and I believe I've broken it all down and ironed out any creases that may have been there. So for me, for this type of effect, this is sort of, not wanting to sound strange, but this is sort of perfection for that sort of routine.
Yeah.
I don't think there's, even now, years later, I don't think there's anything I could do to it that would make it better.
Yeah. No, I think it's a great trick. I remember the first time you showed it to me at Blackpool. When obviously I shot with Alakazam long before I worked it, and I bought it straight away. It absolutely blew my mind, and it is a great, workable, practical walk around trick. And as I say, you end clean, which is perfect as well.
And if you are a pro magician, this works brilliantly in a walk around setting. It also works great round tables because it's something that's happening up here.
Yeah.
So you're standing up, the cards are up here so people can watch you, so it's great for that. The other thing, I think we may have said it, but there's almost no sleight of hand.
Yeah.
So even someone with very minimal card skills could do this within minutes, I should think.
Yeah. There's one move in it, but it's hardly a move. But it's really great. You'll love it. You've seen how it looks, and it's very easy to do. So that is the Eye Change project.
What I will say is, if you're searching for this on the site, search for, because I always call these things weird things and people don't know what to search for.
Right.
So we will set a name now, and it will be Eye Change.
Yeah, it will be underneath this video anyway on our website.
Of course it will.
As a featured product.
Yes.
If you're watching this on YouTube, it's called Eye Change.
Eye Change.
There you go. brings us to the end.
It does bring us to the end. It's very sad.
It
when
is
it's the
sad.
end.
But we'll be back next week.
We will be back, so that's something to be happy about.
And hopefully I can talk a little bit about my trip next week. I'm very excited to share it.
No,
Oh, come on.
no, it's the week after.
Oh, Peter.
I think yours is the week after.
Okay.
But we'll see. Well, if you,
I don't want to be in next week's one.
if you're a good boy, we'll see.
Okay, cool.
So join us next week where we'll talk about either David's trick or another one of our Blackpool releases. Plus we'll talk about some of the new releases. I know you wanted to do Sleeper again, but we sold out again.
Yeah, I know.
So when we've got stock with it, one thing I will mention, because otherwise Jenny will kill me,
Yes.
is Jenny has set up on our site, it's a temporary category, it's not going to be there forever, it's called the Big Sale. Okay, so click on there. There are loads of bargains, and there's more being added almost daily.
Every time Jenny passes, she has an arm full of products.
Yeah.
And I'm just sort of like, oh, what's in there? But yeah, some great products on there. So, and ridiculous prices. We've already sold out of about 7 or 8 products that went up because they are so low in price. So check them out.
Yeah, and there's new products being added daily. Also, if you haven't downloaded our app yet, pop up to the App Store and type in Alakazam VIP and download the app, or the same on Google Play. And the other thing, where would they subscribe if they wanted to?
Oh, yeah, good question, Peter. I don't think I've covered this before. If they would like to subscribe to our YouTube channel, it's just here.
Here?
Yes, just click subscribe.
Right there.
Subscribe. So there we go.
Brilliant. So we'll see you guys next week here on the Alakazam Video Blog.